Hello and welcome to my video lecture on MySQL users. Up until this point, we've created our table, we've created some forms um, in PHP. Now what we need to do is we need to set up some MySQL users. So I'm currently using XAMPP, and I have already started my MySQL instance. And I'm going to click on the admin tab, admin button, which brings up my phpMyAdmin control panel. Um, so here I've got my first database, which really doesn't matter right now because when you create users to access the MySQL server first. So in this case, we'll go right to the users tab, this users tab right here. We click on users. And what we want to do is we want to create a new user. Right now I only have PMA and the root. So if you ever want to get rid of a user, you just check this off. Remove selected users. So you have selected your user, remove selected users, and you would click go, and that would delete that user. Obviously, I do not want to delete the root user on my local host for sure. And if you create a user with their own database, you can do that in one motion. So let's create a new user by clicking the Add User button. So we're going to type in our username. So it's going to be user1. Again, phpMyAdmin and MySQL could be associated with multiple hosts. In this case, we just want to use our local host. We can either type in the password here if you'd like, or we can just click to generate, which is going to give us a nice strong password that we can leave for this user. We can copy this down, email it to the user, whatever we'd like to do. So the next section is database for user, and we can check this off if we wanted to create a database with the same name and grant all the privileges to user one. So we would have a user one user, and then we would have a user one database that would be created. And then we could grant all privileges on wildcard. We don't want to do that either. Global privileges are privileges that you grant on the server. Since this user, we're creating this user primarily to access the My First database, we're not going to do that either. But if you wanted to create users to do administrative tasks, this is the section where you would work on that. So for now, we have created, this is our user that's going to be created to access the MySQL server. So we'll just scroll down and click go, and we have a new user. We click that little window to acknowledge that, and here is our user one associated with our local host. You can click on edit privileges, and here we see our list of our global privileges. If we actually wanted to change this user to be a server administrator user of some kind, we don't. In this particular case, we're going to click on database, the button up here, and that's going to give us access to pick a particular database we want this user to have access to. We can type it in by using the text field, or we can pick it from the drop-down list. In this case, I'm going to pick it from the drop-down list. And now we see that I'm editing privileges for user one at localhost on database my first. And then I can, again, these are kind of global privileges for the My First database. So this user can, either select, insert, update, or delete on any table that's in this database. We can give them structure privileges, whether or not they can create, alter, index, drop structures within the database. So that would be users, indexes, tables, views, all sorts of structures that are within the database. And our administrative privileges would be to grant other privileges to other users, which means creating other users and editing them. We can lock tables, and we also have references. The references is really has no effect in MySQL, as you can see from that little tooltip that pops up. This is really something that hasn't been implemented. It either was implemented and MySQL took it out, or they never implemented it. one or the other. So if I choose all of these, now I'm giving the user the ability to select, insert, update, and delete records in all of the tables that are associated with this database. If I don't want to do that, I can give table-specific privileges down here. And here I only have one table to pick from. I can type in user info here, but it's so much easier just to pick that. And that's going to bring me to my table-specific privileges, which means I can get very fine-grained with this. I can go in here and I can pick and say that the user can select just the user info ID field from this table. Or I can use the control key to select multiple columns within this table to give specific table-specific privileges. Insert, update, again, the references has no effect on anything, so don't bother with that. And then you can give somewhat administrative privileges to say that they can actually delete this table if they wanted to. But we're not going to do any of that. We don't need any of this. We can go back to our users. Here's our users local host. Again, I'm going to edit privileges. I'm going to go to my database. And I'm going to say that this user can go to my first database and can select, insert, update, and delete on all of the tables within this database. I'm not going to get into table-specific privileges with this user. And then I click go, and I have updated the privileges for user 1 at localhost. I have granted select, insert, update, delete on my first to all the tables to user 1, and that's what that .* means. So that's a fairly decent overview on user creation and user privileges. You can delete the user, you can go back in and uncheck these and change whatever you like once the users are created. But that's a pretty decent overview. So now that you know how to create and edit users for your databases and your MySQL server, I want to see you do it on your MySQL server and your databases.